Well, hello everybody. I'm back, Ned Kelly here, and I have Joshua Smith. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely.
Libertarian National Committee at-large member. Not long ago, about a month ago, was our National Libertarian Party convention, and at that, Josh was running for the Libertarian Party chair. I want to talk to him a little bit about that, and also, you know, what being on the LNC means. I also want to sneak in a little bit of questions about the Mises caucus, because I really don't know much about that, and I'm curious. The what?
I've never heard of it.
So if you don't mind, can we start with why you were running, why were you seeking the LP chair position?
Yeah, sure. I've been a libertarian for over 10 years. This is my second stint with the party. I joined the party the first time sometime in 2010, right after I campaigned for Ron Paul in 2008. And found libertarian ideals. And I'm a principled guy. I believe heavily that our principles are what are going to drive us to success. I believe that 60% of the population is not voting today, and there's a reason for that. They're jaded on the political process. They don't care about the two old parties. They don't think anybody represents them. And I believe that us trying to pander to the Republicans or the Democrats makes us more like their tribe, as opposed to making us more libertarian. And so I saw a lot of fundamental issues, with Nick, pandering to some sides. I saw this, the stuff with Arvin that was really, really hard for a lot of us to swallow, a lot of ground level activist guys.
Can I clarify, so Nick Sarwark, the previous and current chair of the Libertarian Party, Arvin Vohra, the previous
vice chair.
Vice chair, currently not.
Yeah, so, I'm a veteran. So that stuff kind of hurt me, even though I understand the corruption of the military-industrial complex, and I want to roll that stuff back as well. I think it really hurt a lot of our activists. I wanted someone to step up and do something. And so I called people. I called people like Larry Sharp. I called people like Nicholas Vieser. I said, look, you guys are big public figures. Let's run somebody against Nick, and don't let him at least be comfortable going into this election. No libertarian should be comfortable going into any election, And so... no one wanted to step up, and so I had this publication, Think Liberty. I'm one of the founders of Think Liberty, if you're familiar. And I said, what, I'm going to put out an intent to run statement and see how it goes. And I talked about our marketing, I talked about our branding, stuff that we've done historically bad at. And as far as a national party, I talked about the loss of memberships between January and August of last year. We had lost over 5,000 national members, and it was more than 25% of what we had, and it's just there was a lot of things I had issues with, and so I put that out thinking it would be a short issue challenge to Nick Sarwark, and it blew up. I ended up going to 17 state conventions over that time. I made it to 21 states in total. I really got to go around and put my finger on the pulse of the activism and find out what it was that could make us more successful and what our activists needed to feel comfortable with their job. And so I did really well, and it was a good time, and I lost. So
you shook things. So it sounds like you were kind of trying to shake things up, and as it grew, it became an actual potential, like, wow,
yeah,
could actually win this.
Yeah, we built a really good grassroots movement, and like I was talking to you earlier about, we had a lot more delegates going into convention than we ended up with, so we thought. But the fact of the matter is that we rallied thousands of small L libertarians around the country, and now they're joining the party.
Yeah, such as Tom Woods.
Yeah, Tom Woods, Dave Smith. I think we just got Mr. Epstein. Who else? Jason Stapleton. So we got, those are the big names, but all around that, and we're going to get into the Mises caucus. As well. We've been able to grow a solid movement of small L libertarians joining the Libertarian Party.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, these people, they're libertarians, they're principled. A lot of them were jaded, even with the Libertarian Party.
Sure.
But now they see that there's a principled caucus, and there's some principled people in leadership like me and Alex Merced, and people who still talk about Austrian economics, and and so it's been a really driving factor for us, and I'm really excited to actually see the July membership report come out, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot bigger than June.
Yeah. So the Mises caucus, I first heard of them, I don't know, about a year ago, less than a year ago, probably from the Tom Woods show, and they endorsed you. Tell me more about who they are and your connection with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Mises caucus is, they have 6 platform planks, they're very thin libertarians. You know, they're Austrian economics guys. They believe in the NAP and private property, which is the basis for pretty much our entire philosophy. It's the basis of what we're doing here. It's why we think the government needs to be rolling back, because they infringe on those things. So they're just a group of principled guys that want to bring principles back to the forefront of the Libertarian Party. And in doing so, they are bringing thousands of small L libertarians back to our causes, which is something that we need to do as a party anyways. So I first heard about them. I mean, I think I had announced a month prior for my chair run, and I got into the Facebook group, and you know, I saw some stuff here and there that I might not have agreed with, but they were taking care of it. They were handling it at the time. They were, you know, removing some people from their group, and I really saw this principle, and you know, they put up the website with the platform planks, and it really spoke to me. So I immediately set out to try and get the endorsement, but in doing so, I ended up becoming the Washington rep for the caucus. I'm now the chair for the candidate committee for the caucus, because they are filing as a PAC, and they are helping candidates. They just did a bunch of petitioning in Pennsylvania, and they're setting up state affiliates for the caucus. So, I mean, it's the hardest working caucus that I've seen in my time of watching the party, and they've only been around for about 8-9 months. You know what I mean? And so it's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for the party. And some people might see them as kind of brash or whatever, but they're working, and that's an important thing.
I met a couple of people at the national convention in NOLA, New Orleans, you know, wearing Mises Caucus shirts, and I asked them about it, and they both, these are separate occasions, the answers I got were, you know, the Libertarian Party needs to be a more economically Austrian, and the party has gotten away from that, and we're trying to bring them back into fiscal responsibility. And my initial reaction was, well, okay, I didn't know we weren't. And, well, is that all the Mises Caucus stands for? What about being libertarian on issues, most important issues to me, like war, and bringing those soldiers home, and closing those bases, and stopping bombing people around the world? So is the Mises, well, and then I listened to Tom Woods, and he's kind of a Mises Caucus guy, unofficially, but he spoke at their event. And
as an aside, actually, I believe I'm the first intra-party candidate ever that had Tom Woods on the delegate floor whipping votes for them.
Pretty cool.
No, we actually added an anti-war plank to the Mises Caucus. And it was written by Scott Horton.
Yeah, very cool.
So that is a very big tenet of what we are as the Mises Caucus, is the anti-war sentiment. And so, yeah, that absolutely 100%. That's probably our most important thing, is that, and the Fed. We'd like to have the Fed. So.
Well, if you got all that, then I think that's basically the Libertarian caucus of the Libertarian Party.
Hey, Ron Paul said that.
Yeah. I hope that what's going to happen is the Mises Caucus folks are going to kind of come into mingle with the rest of the party, and we're all going to realize, oh, we don't disagree. Yeah. Oh, you care about that? I care about that. So hopefully that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we're definitely, you know, along with the radicals, I think we closely align with the radicals on most things, which is good, because, you know, if you know the history of the Radical Caucus, that at one point they were the Murray Rothbard Caucus. So, you know, and so to us, that, you know, that Austrian economics, those ANCAPs, I mean, those, to us, that's the backbone of the party, and the backbone of the philosophy. And so bringing those people to the party to actually help on the political stage is going to be so important for us going forward, and we've given hope to a lot of those people. So,
well, cool. Well, I mean, that is libertarian, big L and little L. So I hope it's a smooth and easy fit there. So you didn't win the race for chair of the Libertarian Party, but you did win a seat on the LNC, the Libertarian National Committee, at-large position, which you've been on for about a month. How's it going?
Good. I'm still coming into my own. You know, like I said, no one knew who I was a year ago, and I knew a little bit about the LNC, and I learned a whole lot about the LNC over the year that I was campaigning. But I'm coming into my own. I'm learning, you know, how to kind of whip votes for causes. I'm working on a motion. I've been working on a motion for an actual fundraising team. It's something that the party's never had. It's something that I talked about a lot in my campaign. We're working on getting some new branding and marketing strategies that we will be talking about in September at the Phoenix, Arizona LNC meeting. We're bringing in an awesome name, Mr. Robin Corner, to talk about some new stuff. If you're familiar with him, he is pretty awesome. He actually created the Blue Republicans or Blue Democrats. What was it? Wait, it was the red. What?
Blue
Republicans.
Blue Republicans.
Yeah, Blue Republicans for Ron Paul. I mean, it was one of the biggest political coalitions.
I am good friends with Robin Curry
Yeah.
when I lived in Seattle. Absolutely. So cheers to that. Good,
I
good
just moved here from Washington.
Yeah.
I was a Washington Libertarian. So yeah, and I'm working on quite a few other things, and we're revamping some social media stuff. And so I didn't win chair, but from my at-large seat, I can do the same things.
Yeah.
I have the same opportunity, probably more opportunity. I have more voting power because the chair usually abstains from votes, and so I have more voting power. I can present the same motions and bring the same ideas to the party, and then we'll revisit it in 2020.
Well, fantastic. That's was going to be my next question. What are your plans going forward? We covered a lot of it. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, I still have the same goals that I had when I was running for chair. I still want to raise $4 million in 2019. I believe it's super important that a national political party raises money, and I still want to put our principles back in the forefront. If it was up to me, and I will make a motion to reaffirm our stance on property rights at some point, because I do believe that's very important that our party keeps that at heart. But yeah, going into 2020, I mean, we'll reevaluate at the beginning of 2019 and find out where we're at. And now that I have that opportunity to really see Macon at work, every day through the email list and at the table, we'll reevaluate 2020. And if there's a need for me to run again, maybe I'll run again. If there's a need for me, I'll go run public office.
Teaser.
Yeah, you never know. I've had a lot of people ask me, and we are building a solid base, and we are bringing a lot of small L libertarians to the party that are going to be delegates in 2020. And so
you heard it here first. Unless you heard it somewhere else, you heard it here first. He might consider running again in 2020.
And here's a good thing for anybody who's watching this. Please do your best to find Patrick Byrne out there in the United States, wherever he's at, and ask him to run for president as a libertarian, because Patrick Byrne is our goal with the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus. If you're not familiar, he is the owner and CEO of Overstock.com. Big crypto guy, super principled. He's got the funding, he's got the visibility, he's got the backing. He could be a great presidential candidate for us. So that's our goal.
Very cool. Josh, any websites or links you'd like to plug?
Just the Facebook, man. We're currently growing the first, I believe the first at-large LNC at-large Facebook page ever of all time. It's just Joshua Smith LNC at-large. You can look me up on Facebook. I'm also at Twitter at Joshua LNC at-large, I believe, as well. And you can check me out there, and I drop fire memes on the daily.
Check them out.
I also talk about issues and policies, and I've dropped some endorsement videos there for people, and I do video updates on what I'll be working on in the LNC. So.
Well, thanks for stopping by here. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. I look forward to going to meeting up with the rest of the libertarians here shortly, huh?
Yeah, we have our monthly luncheon, Kansas City Area Libertarian Party. Check us out. We drop some hot memes as well. All right. Peace. I don't know if we've ever dropped a hot meme or not.
You gotta drop fire memes, man. It's important.
Rather than staring at ourselves in the screen there, to kind of, it's little, it's only,
right.
But it makes a big, it's only a few inches, but it makes a big difference. That's what someone.
That's what she said. I'm surprised she didn't say it. She was thinking it.
She's behaving herself very well.
Trust me, she is.